Once upon a time, in a big forest, there lived a little squirrel. The squirrel was very tiny and cute, with soft brown fur, a bushy tail, and a pair of shiny black eyes. All the forest animals loved her and called her Sophie. As winter was approaching, Sophie started to feel worried. Winter was her favorite season, but it was also a time when she had to eat more than usual to stay warm and cozy in her little nest. So Sophie began collecting nuts every day. She would jump from branch to branch, collecting acorns, walnuts, and chestnuts. She stored them in a hollow tree near her home. One day, while Sophie was gathering walnuts, she saw dark clouds gathering in the sky. The wind was blowing very hard and the trees were swaying. Suddenly, a loud clap of thunder echoed through the forest. Startled by the sudden noise, Sophie looked up and saw that a huge tree was falling right towards her. She quickly jumped out of the way and watched as the tree crashed to the ground with a loud thud. When she turned around, she saw that the tree had fallen across the hollow tree where she had stored all her nuts. The tree had also fallen on her house, destroying it. It had ripped off the roof and the walls, leaving her with nothing but a pile of twigs and leaves. Overcome with sadness, Sophie sat down and started crying. She felt like giving up. But then she thought about how much she loved her home and her family. She knew she couldn't give up. She had to find a way to rebuild her home and find food for herself and her family. Taking a deep breath, Sophie wiped away her tears and started looking around. She saw that the storm had knocked down many trees and fruits had fallen from their branches, but it was too dangerous to go out in the open. There were strong winds and heavy rain, and the trees could collapse at any moment. Then Sophie had an idea. She went up to a tall tree and started collecting fallen fruits. She collected as many fruits as she could and stored them in a safe place. Then she went back to the tree and climbed up to the topmost branches. From there, she could see the whole forest. She saw that the storm had made many trees fall, but it had also made some trees bend down, which meant that the branches were low enough for her to reach. So Sophie started jumping from tree to tree, collecting nuts and storing them in the tree hollows. After a while, she saw a bird sitting on a branch, pecking at a nut. "Excuse me," said Sophie politely. "Could you please help me collect nuts? I need them to survive the winter." The bird looked at Sophie and said, "I don't know. It's so dangerous out here. You could get hurt." "I understand," said Sophie, "but I have no choice. My home has been destroyed, and I need to find food for myself and my family." The bird saw the determination in Sophie's eyes and said, "Okay, I'll help you." And so the bird and the squirrel started collecting nuts together. Soon they were joined by some rabbits who were also looking for food. And together they collected so many nuts that they filled up every tree hollow they could find. When winter arrived, Sophie was very happy. She and her family survived the winter by eating the nuts they had collected. She also shared the nuts with the birds and the rabbits so that they, too, could survive. All the animals in the forest admired Sophie for her bravery, teamwork, and creativity. They all worked together to overcome the difficulties they faced during the winter. And they knew that if they ever faced another storm, they would be ready for it.